doing YouTube Pagan Challenge Week 30. What does this time of year mean to you? I think that's the first time I got that sentence right. Right at the first try. As normal, I'll put the question in the description box below. I wanted to say, I hope everyone had a blessed Lunasad Lamas. I did. So I'll tell you what this time of the year means to me. It's, harvest and right in the middle of our, summer, and it's warm. It's actually a little hot here, but I love this time of the year. If it could stay like this all the time, maybe a little cooler. I'm even okay in the 80s, but when it's 97 degrees plus humidity, so it's like 100 and something, it's a little hot. And I know that I'm complaining. I hurt my finger. And I know other people are like, oh, it's like, I had somebody that I know from Texas, and they're like, it's like 106 here. And I was like, sorry, I'm bitching about being 97. So I hope everyone's okay, and I hope everyone had a blessed Sabbath. So, what time this year? What does it year mean to me? It's very basic. We can go by. I can read it out of a textbook to you and tell you what I'm supposed to. But to me, it's relaxing. It's really, really hard to work because I don't want to go sit in an office all day. I'd rather just be doing nothing. You know what I mean? I'd rather be outside or relaxing, just lounging. I feel drained almost. And my allergies right now are bothering me, and I don't know why, because they haven't bothered me very. Not as much as they have in the past. But anyway, so I'm going to get into the other part, was I got invited to a group ritual for Lunasa. So I've been to group rituals before, but it's been like at Pagan Pride and stuff like that, where there's a lot of people, and the ritual is very almost, I don't want to say generic, but you know what I mean? It's been kind of very basic, but it's all inclusive. You can tell that, or at least in what I'm piecing together now that I've seen this other work, was that they understood that there was different pagan faiths there, at the Pride one, and so it's included so they could make everyone feel part of it. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I don't know the contrast. I haven't been to like an all Druid thing to compare it to an all Wiccan one, to compare it to, you know what I mean, to an all fill in the blank. But this one was, it was done by a coven. And they asked me, they invited me to come, so I went, and it was potluck after, so I took some food, and it was vegetarian or vegan, so I took vegan stuff for them. And sorry, my phone is going off, and I'm trying to figure out why, and it's nothing. Yeah, so it was a totally different thing. Now, it's totally out of my comfort zone. I am used to being solitary. I'm used to creating my rituals however they feel like, and they're never the same twice. I might use some of the same chants or something like that, but it's usually always different every time. I don't always call the directions the same. I don't always even call them, you know what I mean? I don't always draw the circle. I don't always, you know what I mean? My structure is very how I'm feeling at that moment. And this was a little more structured and deity based. So like I call the lady and the Lord, or the Lord and the lady, or you know what I mean, or the God and Goddess. I call them, but remember my aspect is I don't really I'm torn. Okay? So I can understand calling them by name. I don't when I do ritual, but I feel like sometimes that I'm getting nods from a specific set of attributes where I can attribute to what has been assigned to the Morgan or Hecate or stuff like that. So I understand it. So anyway, let me get in. So we go in and he says, hey, have you had a chance to look over the video I posted and the Facebook post on the ritual structure? And I was like, yeah, I saw it. And to me, when I read it, I was thinking, oh, this must be for somebody that wants to do it at home that can't come, right? Because it was broken down in detail how to set it all up. And the reason that I still felt that way when I showed up is that like the altar was done, the candles were out, everything was set up, it was just ready to go. So I was thinking that it was given because I know certain people couldn't be there. They even had someone Skype in, which was really cool, and they Skyped in with their phone, and they had a little like Bluetooth speaker and microphone so that they could set it near the altar or set it wherever so that she could participate, which was really cool. So he said, have you seen this post? And then he said, well, okay, good. Well, the chant is in Latin. And I was like, I did miss that part. So I quickly pulled out my phone and I started going through it like, oh God. And I was like, so he came and sat down again with me and he's like, so did you get a chance to look at it? And I said, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. And I said, I want to make sure that I'm saying these right. So we went through them together and he goes, I'll lead you. I'll say it. And so I figured at first, if the first cycle of whenever it came to Latin parts, I just waited for a second to see what was being said and if I recognized it from the two phrases that I had to learn, or was it something else? So then they said, would anyone like to perform? And they initialed it. I swear they said like R and D or R and E, R and P, something. It sounded like that. And I still can't figure out what those initials would have stood for, but I figured it out once I started doing it. So another person that was their first time at a ritual like that, who's actually newer to, I think, the Paz. Yeah, I think really new. He's like me, and he walked over and they go, have you ever done this before? And he's like, no. And they're like, why don't we get somebody else that has done it? Thank you for offering. We really appreciate it, but you'll understand here in a second. And so another guy stood up and said he'll do it. So they went and what they were doing was calling the directions and invoking that side. I mean, it was in Latin, so I was like, oh, I kind of get what they're doing. They're calling the directions, and they're maybe invoking pentagrams, pentagram, and then going the other way. He was calling and he was pulling in the energy, and so we did each direction like twice, I think. So I would assume that it would be element, direction, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Whatever you're calling in from whatever direction. Which was cool. But I could see why I couldn't have never have done that, because I don't know how to do that with their structure in Latin. So the ritual went really well. It was really different for me. Like I said at the beginning, is that being an empath and stuff, I'm kind of really aware and don't like to go do things. I don't even like to go to places what I know what's going on, let alone go to a place where I don't know half the people or almost 3/4 of the people. And I only knew really one to walk up and say hey, and that we would know each other. And that was the guy who invited me, Brian. But the other people I've known, like I know them from Facebook and stuff like that, but I've never really got a chance to like sit down and have a conversation with them. I might have in the past. Don't get me wrong, if one of them are watching this video, I might have met you in the past, but I have kind of a jaded past and don't remember some of it. So, like if you talk to me when I was working at the clubs and performing, then it's a different story. So, I had a lot of anxiety. I sat in my car and I was like, just go. And so I went, and everyone was very welcoming and very nice and very intelligent. I met a kid that I don't know how old he was. They said he got his license, but he might have been 16, but he might have been 18. I don't know. But he was very tall, good-looking kid, and he was so smart. Just like how he was analyzing stuff, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, he looks like a normal kid. You know what I mean? Like a normal high school kid, or like early college. Like the way he was dressed and stuff, but to hear him talk, I was like, it was just cool. You know what I mean? I was like, nerd. But it was really cool that they were talking about art, and they were talking about other things. This was all after the ritual. So it was cool to be in that instance, and I thank them for having me. It was a vegan-vegetarian event, so that helped. I took, of course, vegan food, and which was good because a lot of people made stuff that had cheese in it, which I don't eat. But it was an awesome thing. It was a cool experience, and they told me if any time I wanted to come back, I'm more than welcome to come back, and I probably will, probably for a Sabbath. So yeah, it was really good, and it was so good to be around people. You know what I mean? Even though I was totally uncomfortable the entire time, I was just because it was all new, and it was really cool to do. Now I'm really looking forward to Pagan Pride, which is coming up shortly in this month, I believe. Cleveland Pagan Pride. Everything wants to move really slow when I'm making a video. August 27th and 28th. So I'm hoping I want to go up, and I want to take my dogs with me because I don't want to leave them here. I'm already taking a trip in September. I'm going to Orlando to Universal theme parks, and I'm going to go see Harry Potter, the whole Harry Potter thing. King Kong comes out, and other things. So I got all passes. I'm going to be there 3 days in the park, 4 nights. So yeah, so that'll be really cool. That's in September. So I'm going to be away from my doggies that long, which is kind of scary. But yeah, the feeling of summer is just my favorite. So it really when it boils down to is whenever I'm doing, I'm cool. So let me know in the comments how was your Lunisad Lamath. Let me know what you did. Give me a VR or something. But I want to thank everyone for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Blessed be.